Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys.
Hey guys! Alright, lesson 6, all on multiplying polynomials. Alright, so at the top of the page here, I just jotted down a couple of rules that we have to remember when we are multiplying. Take some time right now and copy this onto your paper.
I'm sorry, Miss Barley, did you want me to copy this on my paper?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Number 1, the first thing we want to do is distribute. Okay, and then we'll talk about that in a second. Now, unlike when we were adding and subtracting in the last video, when we are multiplying, we have to remember to add the exponents. Then once you've done all that, combine your like terms for your final answer. All right, so let's go ahead and do number 1. 6b times 2b plus 3. So again, there's this little term outside the parentheses. I'm going to distribute that or multiply that to everything inside the parentheses. So I will have 6b times 2v. So I multiply the 6 times 2, which is 12, and v times v is v squared. So you can think about it like this, v times v. The exponents that are on those little v's are 1s, and when we add 1 plus 1 together, we get 2. Okay? All right. Then I do 6b times 3. So again, multiplying the 6 and the 3 together, I get 18. And there's nothing to combine that v with, so I just carry it along. 18v. And that's our final answer.
Okay, quickly go ahead and pause the video. You go ahead and try number 2. So go ahead and check your answer. You should have negative 4x squared minus 6x. Okay, so you will learn in this video that Miss Barley and I, although certified math teachers, both like to answer questions like this differently. So for question number 3, you're going to see me answer it using the box method. And this is how the box method goes. How many terms do we see in the first parenthesis? 2. How many do we see in the second parenthesis? 2. So that means my box is going to be a 2 by 2. So I'm going to take this first one right here. I'm going to put 2n plus 2. Going down, I'm going to have 6n plus 1. In this first box right here, we're going to multiply 6 times 2, which gives me 12. And then I have an n here to the 1 and n here to the 1, so it's n squared. In the next box, I have 6 times 2, which gives me 12. But I'm not just going to throw this n out. I'm going to attach him. The next one I'm going to change the color here so it's easier to see. 1 times 2, which is 2, and then bring down the n. The next one, I'm going to do 1 times 2, which is 2. So just like we've done before, go through and find your like terms. Does 12n squared have a match? No, he does not. So I'm going to go ahead and write him down. And I picked him first because he has that 2. Remember, we're going in descending order. The next one, I have a 12n and a 2n. Those are like terms. So that becomes a 14n because I'm adding those numbers. And then the last piece that I have here is this 2. So I bring down that plus 2. So what I want you to do right now is go ahead, pause the video, and answer question number 4. Okay, so I want you guys to notice on number 4, we hadn't really talked about this. This was a negative 3, so I have that negative 3 here, and then the negative 2 goes down here. So the multiplication is still the same, but it's just now with a negative. If you need help with this one, you can definitely call a teacher over.
All right, so number 5 is similar to the previous 2 examples, but I just want to show you another way of doing it, okay? You pick a way that you like and stick with it. This method is called double distributing or FOIL, okay? Either way you want to remember. FOIL. which stands for first, outside, inside, last. So this is going to help us keep order to how we are multiplying, okay? I'm going to look at the first term right here, this 6p, and I'm going to kind of like double distribute that to the second term. So I'm going to multiply the first two terms together. This is where the f comes from. 6p times 5 is 30. P times p is p squared. Okay? Then I'm going to multiply the outside terms together. So 6p times negative 8. That will give me a negative 48p. Then I'm going to multiply the inside terms together. So the 8 and the 5p, which will give me a positive 40p. Then I'm going to multiply the last terms together. So positive 8 times negative 8 is a negative 64. Okay, that's the FOIL method. From here, just like the steps say in the beginning, combine any like terms. So negative 48p plus 40p gives us, excuse me, that gives us a negative 8p in the middle. And then there's nothing else that can be combined for like terms, so I get 30p squared minus 8p minus 64 for the final answer. Okay, so if you like the FOIL method or the distributive method, you can definitely use that every single time. If you prefer the box method,
Which they do.
or they don't, either or, you can pick a method and stick with it. I won't be offended either way. Miss Santiago won't be offended.
No, I
either
probably
way.
will. I like the box. No, absolutely not. If you are comfortable one way versus the other, go ahead and just do it. Now, if you look at number 6, once you figure out really what's happening here, you're probably going to be like, this is so easy. What does that little 2 tell us? That is telling us that whatever is in parentheses is going to be written 2 times. So it's 4p minus 1, 4p minus 1. This is a great review on how to deal with those negatives because we have these ones here. All right, so again, I like to use the box method. So I'm going to do 4p, and this is a negative 1, 4p, and a negative 1. So 4 times 4 is 16. P times p, we have to add those exponents, is p squared. The next one is 4 times negative 1, which is negative 4. Don't forget to bring down that p. The next one is negative 4, or excuse me. The next one is negative 1 times 4, which is negative 4p. And the last piece is negative 1 times a negative 1. Let's think about our rules. A negative times a negative is a, you should be saying positive 1. Go through and find my matches. Does 16p squared have any matches? When I say that, I mean, does anything else here have a 2? The answer is no, so I'm going to write him down. Negative 4p and another negative 4p. Easiest way to remember that is you're going to add those. So I get a negative 8p, and then the last piece here is that 1. I just add him on, and that is my answer.
All right. So, looking at number 7 here, almost done. We have what's called a trinomial because there are 1, 2, 3 terms here, multiplied by a binomial, which means there are 2 terms here. Now again, you could distribute, but in a case like this, even I might use the box method.
What?
So we have a 2 by 3 box that we want to build. Okay, it will look something like this, a little bit longer than the boxes we were doing before. I can't draw. Let me try that again. All right, that's better. So the 2 terms, 2r minus 4, I'm going to just write those along the side, 2r minus 4, and then I'm going to write 3 columns for that polynomial with 3 terms in it. So along the top, I'm going to have 7r squared minus 6r minus 6. Then I'm going to go through and multiply everything by 2r first. So 2r times 7r squared. Well, 2 times 7 is 14, and r times r squared, remember adding those exponents will give me r to the third power. 2r times negative 6r. So 2 times negative 6 is a negative 12, and r times r is r squared. 2r times negative 6. So 2 times negative 6 again is negative 12, and we carry that r along. In the bottom row, negative 4 times everything. So negative 4 times 7r squared will give us a negative 28r squared. Negative 4 times negative 6r, negative and negative is a positive 24r. Negative 4 times negative 6, again, is a positive 24. So again, looking in this box, look for all of the like terms. So starting with 14r to the third. Can we combine it? Nope. Carry it down. The r squared terms can be combined. Negative 28 minus 12r squared is a negative 40r squared. The r terms, negative 12r plus 24r, that is a positive 12r. And then the 24, there's no other numbers, so we just carry it along. Oops. Okay, so you guys can kind of see for this particular method, with these long polynomials, the box method is just a nice way to keep us organized, okay? If you wanted to, you could have taken these and distribute, but that might get a little bit messy, okay? So just keep that in mind.
Okay, so the last question, it says, what is the area of the rectangle with the length 4x minus 3 and the width 6x minus 9? Well, the important piece here is, what does area mean? Area equals length times width. So if I have this rectangle and the length is 4x minus 3 and the width is 6x minus 9, I'm going to multiply these. So really, having this written out, it would look like this. So you could do any method that Miss Barley and I have just showed you. So what I'm going to have you guys do now is pause the video and get an answer to this. Good luck. All right, so go ahead and check your answer. If you got the same answer, awesome. If not, you can definitely ask questions. When you are all done with these notes, go ahead and get your practice. Check your answers on the answer key wall, and when you're done, you can take your test.
Good luck.
Good luck, guys.